Okay, I'm here today with Venetia Virgo, who is a maternity nurse, a doula, a childcarer, a childcare trainer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your really varied career?
Oh, wow. It kind of started unexpectedly. My mum's background is childcare. There's 11 months between me and my sister below me. So my mum used to take us to work with us and have us in the playpen. And then she used to do play schemes and holiday camps. So we used to go with her to work. So that's when my love of working in childcare began. When I was about 14, I used to help her with the play schemes and camping trips to the New Forest. So then once I hit 16, I trained for my MVQ. So that's my beginnings.
And what have you been doing since then?
Oof. I've worked in private nurseries, community nurseries. I've worked a lot as agencies because I wanted to change it up a bit. I've worked as a nanny, I've done nanny share, I've done paternity nursing for twins, I've done preschools. Ooh, what else have I done? I think I've done basically everything that tickled my fancy. If it had an interest, I'm like, I can do that. So yeah, I think my longest stint at nursery was 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. One of the parents poached me from the nursery. I was the daughter's key worker when they were in the baby room, and then I moved up, and then 6 months later she moved up into the toddler room, and then she got pregnant with number 2 and asked me to be their nanny, and I said yes.
Oh.
And then I don't know, I just got a little bit kind of tired of doing all the nannying jobs, so I thought, I can do this from home, because the 8 till 6:30 and an hour travel each time, 5 days a week, I wasn't feeling much of a quality of life for myself. So I thought if I switch to childminding, I can work from home. So I did some childminding. Excuse the coughing. I did the childminding course, and about a year later, they asked me to help put together the training for it. And then I did the training with them for about 2 years for independent training companies. So I was teaching the Introduction to Childcare course. So yeah, done a little bit of everything.
So let's just talk about the challenges of working in someone else's home. What have you found are the barriers both for you working in someone else's home, and for the parents who have to welcome someone in to look after their most precious thing, their babies?
You get all different kinds of clients, employers. It kind of depends on, for me personally, I felt it depended on why they felt they needed someone to look after the children. Because that kind of gave me a gist of what my role was expected. And there's sometimes a difference between what your role is expected and what your role actually is. So I always make sure I'm adamant, I'm not a housekeeper, I'm not a cleaner, I will tidy up as I go along. But there were some people that had expectations that you would do ironing, and I'm talking about ironing kids' underwear, sorting out the adults' washing, and I said no, I didn't train to work in childcare to do that. So just be, firm in your boundaries. You don't have to do what the next person does. There are some people that love ironing and they include that as part of the package. I hate ironing, but I love cooking. And then some people that don't know how to cook, so that's not part of their package. So be true to you, be honest, and make sure that that you both go into the contract knowing exactly what's expected out of both of you. Because if you don't, those are the challenges where sometimes the boundaries get muddled, and then you end up getting despondent and thinking that it's not the job for you, when realistically you just haven't been firm in what you want and what you expect.
So what do you enjoy about working with parents and newborns?
I love the challenge, because it's like a new job it's like starting a new job every day. It's not just every client, it's every day, because no 2 days are the same. I love just learning from them as well, because as much as people say, oh, you're expert. I hate the word expert. I like to say I have experience in the field, because no one is an expert. And I just love having a different day every day. I love the opportunity I'm kind of a people watcher too. So I like seeing people come together as a family. I like how the dynamics work, and it's just so interesting. So maybe I'm a bit of an anthropologist at heart. So, yeah.
And what top tips do you tend to share with new parents?
Rest. The first thing is rest. Tomorrow is another day. I think that's we tend to, as humans, we all tend to react more than respond. But if you step back and take a breath, or even rest then you are better able to see the situation or the problem and respond as opposed to reacting. If somebody says they're coming over, give them a list of things that you need doing. Try to have I call it a support tree. So, if this branch isn't working, that branch could do something else. We're not made to do this all by ourselves, but modern day life has made it so that technology kind of feels like it can replace human contact. But we're mammals. We thrive on human contact. We're pack animals. So we thrive in a pack. Not necessarily all the time, but we thrive in a pack. So, like working cohesively. So if someone says they're coming over, tell them, bring some food. Don't be shy to say, you know what, bung a couple of loads of washing on. Hang that up for me. Can you mind just passing the Hoover over? Don't be shy about asking people, but at the same time, setting your boundaries. No, not today. If you don't feel like having people in your house for the first 2 weeks, don't bother. If you don't want to go anywhere to see anyone, don't bother. We have these expectations that things that we should do. Do what feels right for you. And, try to alleviate some of the guilt by putting your emotional needs first.
And what's your advice for those going to work in other people's homes as a maternity nurse?
Leave your ego at the door. It's one of the main things. As much as we know, and as much as we've trained for and experience, it's not our journey, it's theirs. So we can lead them, we can give them guidance, but too many times I've heard of people going in and changing the whole dynamic and telling parents what they should and shouldn't do. And that's not what we should be there for. We're supposed to support the parents in the beginning of their journey so that they can progress. Giving someone a cut and paste kind of schedule that they're supposed to maintain is not going to work, because we're all different. Our family dynamics are different. Our experiences are different. And it's not a one size fit all. And the problem I find with a cut and paste profile that you just say, here, do this, here, do this, here, do that all the time, is you don't listen to the parents' needs, and you're imposing your will or your ideal of parenting onto someone, and it probably won't gel. And the negative aspect of that is it can also give the profession a bad name. So there's that. Also, just listen as much as possible. Don't make assumptions, and try to go with the flow and be adaptable. Some people are, I don't do dummies. Well, it's not your child. So that's where we come back to it's not your parenting choices. It's your professional job to support them and put them in the right path for their choices. So if they say, I'm looking into, sleep training, okay, that's fine. Here are the pros and cons to sleep training. Here are some, fact-based evidence. Give it to them, let them do the research, and let them make an informed decision. So just kind of, I think of it as being the bra. You're propping them up and let them do what they do.
That's great. Maternity nurses, be more bra.
Yes. Just support. Listener support. If they want to separate, if they want to come together, let them do what they're doing. But just be the bra.
That is a fantastic analogy. Thank you so much for your time, Venetia.